All right, so now we are going to be talking about Ashely and Kaylin, and I feel like there is a lot to unpack with this couple. There is a lot of toxicity, and I just really don't believe that these two were ever meant to be a couple. And in the reunion, they do come back, and they are no longer together, which thank goodness, because it just was not going to work out, like at all, at all. Um, this couple actually did make it into the trial marriage, if you could call it that, but they had a lot of issues. So I will say when they went into their trial marriages, they were still talking to each other. And that really brought up a lot of issues in preventing them from working on things on themselves and in the new relationship partnership that they were in, which I really took away. I think that really took away from their experience in the ultimatum. Like, I think they could have gotten so much more out of it if they really would have stuck to the rules of once you're in the trial marriage, you're no longer talking to your ex. Like, the person that you came here with is now your ex. You know what I mean? But they didn't follow that rule. It caused so many problems. They ended up having the people that they went to the trial marriage with, they all ended up having a four-way conversation in person from late at night all the way into the morning about all of them texting each other and how they need to block each other. And it was just a hot mess, basically. It was just a hot mess. And I will say that within their relationship, I can't for sure say that there were some DV stuff, but I definitely could. I wouldn't be surprised if that came out to be the case, only because when that all happened, like when all four of them came together, them and their trial marriage, and they were talking about how they shouldn't be texting each other, they should block each other for the remaining of the trial marriage. Killian, when Ashely was talking, basically told her to shut the up and like kind of was going off on her. And so his trial partner, or trial marriage partner, was telling him he shouldn't be treating her that way. Don't talk to her that way. And like he was using very aggressive, very abusive language. And so that kind of leads me to believe that that's not the only abusive thing he's done. It could be, but it could not be. You know what I mean? Also, too, I will say that when they get back together after their trial marriage, they still have a lot of issues when they get back together because there was a lot of things that they just didn't work on. And also too, I feel like Killian has a very hard time with taking accountability and apologizing for things and like really like meaning it. And I feel like Ashely, prior to her trial marriage, was taking a lot of the abuse, was kind of going along with whatever he said. And then also too, another big issue for them was he had asked for her hand in marriage from her father. The father said no, felt like he wasn't ready for his daughter's hand in marriage. And personally, after seeing the interaction between Ashely's parents with Ashely and Killian, I can tell you for a fact that that dad does not like him. And I don't think the mom does either. And they have good reason to not like him. He does not treat her well. He does not treat her the way she deserves to be treated. But she also has things that she needs to work on, and she also has her own issues. I will say, like, within her trial marriage, her trial partner was trying to get her to see how she should be treated. And I really like the question that he posed to her, like, hey, if your daughter came to you and a guy was treating her this way or saying these things to her, what would you tell her? And she literally gave the dumbest answer and basically told her, basically her answer was, man, what was it? It was so stupid. She basically was like, I would tell her not to forget the good times. And I'm like, that's what she's trying to sell to herself right now. But like, yeah, that was not the answer. So her trial partner kind of just left that alone, which good for him on that. But them together was just very, very messy, very, very toxic. Even Killian, when he was in his trial marriage, he pretty much fumbled that completely. He had a whole text going on between him and his friends, and his trial partner saw the text between him and his friends, and basically the friends were insinuating well, one, they were calling the trial partner that he was with names, very aggressive names, and they were also insinuating grape to her. And he just kind of went along with it and kind of ha-ha'd it off. And she had like actual pictures of this, actual pictures of the group chat between them. Okay. So there was no denying it. He could not deny that. Okay. He could not. And like, for him to just like take that so lightheartedly and like it's not a big deal was very disturbing, because if that's the type of people that you hang out with, like that's kind of like the mentality that you have to, you know what I mean? Birds of a feather flock together, just saying. So there was that. There was another statement that he had made to his trial partner that came up to, where he basically said to her, like, if you weren't so modest, I would. You. And that was brought back to Ashely, his main partner, which she was kind of like, I don't know if I can believe what she's saying, which I'm just like, girl, whatever. You don't want to believe it, you don't want to believe it. She was living in the Lululand, he was living in the Lululand, and I'm glad they didn't end up together, because that would have been chaotic. And I'm glad they didn't have a child together either, just saying. So I will say in the reunion, basically they did talk about how they left engaged and it did not work, and they're not friends, like they are not talking together, like they're nothing. So very happy to hear that. And I do still feel like they both need a lot of therapy and a lot of like looking inward into themselves. Whether they will do it or not, I don't know. But they were definitely a lot of the drama for the Ultimatum season 4 this year. So if you want to see them fight, just go to the reunion, because that really gives you like the recap, honestly.